Zarifa, don't just stand there stiffly. This is a video, not a photo.
What should I do?
I don't know. Recite a poem or something.
I forgot.
I don't know, just say a poem.
These shots, taken with my father's new camera, include me as well. My first and last memory of my family.
So here it goes. I am Farhad Ibrahimov, born in 1965. My wife, Zarifa Ibrahimova, was born in 1968. Huh? What? Why are you laughing?
Sabahın xeyir Azərbaycan. Verilişimiz davam edir. Hörmətli tamaşaçılar, bizim növbəti qonağımız gənc.
Fate had it that the day I was born and the day I lost my parents fell on the same date.
Leyli xanım, sabahınız xeyir.
Salam, vaxtınız xeyir. Leyli xanım, sizin yazılarınız cəmiyyətinizdə baş verən hadisələrə fərqli baxış bucağı ilə fərqlənir.
Həm də bildiyimiz qədərilə sonuncu işinizin də olduqca maraqlı mövzusu var. 20 yanvarda doğulanlar.
Çox doğru vurğuladınız, amma ilk növbədə sizə təşəkkür etmək istəyirəm. 20 yanvar hadisələri oldu.
At the end of the 1980s, Soviet rule in Azerbaijan faced an unexpected force, national unity, and the will for national independence. The mass deportation of Azerbaijanis from their ancient homeland in Armenia, combined with threats of losing Karabakh, posed a grave danger to the country's future. History grows nations through trials. The path of evolution passes through challenges. Amid the chain of events reshaping the world's face, Azerbaijan stood as one of the hottest points.
65 ildə mənim gözümün qabağında hər şey aydın.
Did you see that? Yeah. Were you scared? Yes.
The waves of the national liberation movement could spread from Baku across the entire country. For this reason, the Soviet leadership devised the harshest scenario for Azerbaijan. The first decision was to cut off connections with the outside world. On the evening of January 19th, an explosion occurred in the energy block of Azerbaijani television. With every passing minute, tensions grew, even though television and radio were silenced. News about heavy military equipment approaching Baku spread rapidly.
You saw it, right? They even turned off the TV.
Yeah.
They say they'll blow up the transmission tower, too.
Khalil, where are you going? To buy bread. Are you the last in line?
Yes, I am. Please go ahead. Don't wait in line. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hello, Aunt Nasiba.
Hello, dear. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What would you like, dear?
Half a kilo of sugar cubes and a loaf of bread.
I'll wait. Let her go first.
Thank you, Aunt Nasiba. Have you seen Khalil?
You mean Moose's son?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
He went out to buy bread.
Hello.
Zarifa, where have you been all this time?
Farhad, I went to the store. Are you still there?
I'm still here. How are you feeling?
Fine. Farhad, my mum couldn't come. She called. The roads into the city are closed. The buses aren't running either. Can you hear me?
I can't hear anything because of the noise. Zarifa, it's so noisy here. Listen, I'll come in the morning. Don't worry, okay?
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
The Soviet Minister of Defense, Dmitry Yazov, the Minister of Internal Affairs, Bakatin and other high-ranking officials had been sent to Baku a few days before the events to set up a headquarters. This fact confirmed how much importance Moscow placed on the secret operation.
Öz evə gəlmir də, sözə baxmır. Canay bilsən, gəl evə, dənən qurban. Hara getdin? Evə gəl.
Zarifa!
They found Khalil in the morgue this morning. I even saw him running just the other day.
All right, calm down. Don't worry. When did the window break?
Yesterday, a bullet hit the house. Uncle Israfil helped fix it.
There, sit down. Sit down, good. I left a cassette here yesterday. Do you know where it is?
Behind the books.
Zarifa. I just need 5 minutes. Please, don't touch anything, all right? Just wait here for me. I'm doing all this for my son. From the day he was born, we're capturing everything until he grows up. These are memories, you know?
Zarifa!
The night of January 19th to 20th, 1990, Soviet troops invaded Azerbaijan. Hundreds of peaceful, unarmed civilians were killed, injured, crushed by tanks and stripped of their rights in the streets and squares of Baku. We call on all civilized states that value freedom to respond to our pleas for help. The Azerbaijani people, whose blood continues to flow, are awaiting support. During a time when Baku's communication with the world was cut off, the news of this crime spread from the sea through a special communication channel used by sailors. An urgent distress signal was sent in 2 languages from the ship Viker 12 stationed in the Baku port. Soon, response radiograms came from ships in the Black Sea, the Baltic Sea, and the Pacific Ocean. This bold action by Azerbaijani captains disrupted the balance of the secret operation in Baku. The hidden truths were exposed, creating confusion within the Soviet military administration. Over 100 ships had gathered in Baku Bay. During an urgently convened meeting of the captains, a council of captains, consisting of 7 members, was elected. After intense discussions, the council members selected were Mavlud Aliyev, Murad Aliyev, Kishi Mutalimov, Agalar Ibrahimov, Muzaffar Aliyev, Ibrahim Salayev, and Kerem Mamadov.
Calm down, calm down. We won't achieve anything with this kind of tension. I propose we create a council of captains. This requires great responsibility.
Several crucial decisions were made in a short time. The ships of the Caspian Sea oil fleet would block Baku Bay and seal off navigation routes. They would prevent the Caspian military fleet's ships from leaving the bay and Soviet military ships from entering it. The immediate withdrawal of Soviet troops from Baku would be demanded. If these conditions were not met, the sailors would take the most drastic measures.
Gelin keçen bir kanalı hansı ki öz aramızdaki o birisi danışıklara mani olmayalım.
In response to the threats, Azerbaijani sailors declared that they would not back down from their stance. The declaration, signed by the captains, became a remarkable example of extraordinary courage in extraordinary circumstances. Troops must be withdrawn from Baku by midnight on January 21st, 1990. Today, one of the ships in Baku Bay will be set on fire as a sign of protest. If force is used from the shore or the sea, all ships docked at the pier, tankers and coastal oil depots will be set ablaze. If any ships attempt to move, we will stop them with our own bodies. Baku stepped into such darkness that no one knew what would happen a moment later. Uncertainty, helplessness. The camera, bought to preserve the happiest moments of our family, was now filming Baku's blood-stained streets. I could feel the same emotions my mother felt at that time.
Kimdir seven nice karanfil Sana men aşık şeyde karanfil Karanfil Sana men aşık şeyde karanfil Karanfil
The first shots were fired on the evening of January 20th, but the captain still did not retreat.
Sabit оружие, выходите. Sabit оружие. İşte Behmen. O Güneşli'de, Əhmədli'də bərk atışmalar gedir. Burada səsi də eşidilir, güllələr də göstərir, necə güyə tulluyurlar. Ona da ona xəbər eləyərsə. Mirni, bizim gözəlçilərimiz, ailəmizi orada qırırlar.
With the resistance in the bay, the Empire's operation in Baku was slipping out of control. Communication was forming amidst protests on both the shore and the sea. At the headquarters on the Sabit Orujov ship, another report of a hidden crime had arrived. Martyrs' bodies were being gathered in storage facilities at the naval base, later to be loaded onto military ships and dumped into the sea under the pretext of evacuating the families of military personnel from the bay. To verify the authenticity of this report, a group of sailors, led by Captain Muzaffar Aliyev of the Babazad ship, announced their intention to inspect the military ships leaving the bay. Our delegation must inspect all the ships without exception.
Bizim nümayəndə heyəti bütün gəmiləri mütləq yoxlayır.
The meeting with Admiral Sidorov, Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Soviet Navy and a Deputy of the Supreme Soviet of the USSR, was tense.
Где это видно, что капитаны гражданских судов проверяют военные корабли?
Только хотели убедиться, что на кораблях на самом деле находятся семьи военнослужащих, а не трупы.
Вы что, с ума посходили? Срочно освободите бухту, иначе мы вас раздавим.
Пока войска не выйдут из Баку, ни один из наших кораблей не тронутся с места.
Ну хватит. Придется вас строго наказать.
When the captains heard they were about to be arrested, civilian ships decided to attack the military base.
Çalışın, çalışın. Eğer gemilerin batrası olsak öyle burada hərbilərin qabağında batrası yok. Tabi duruş olsun sürü. Eşirəm Yusuf. Gemileri batırma olmayacak. Gemileri sırası kollu borbayın portuşma. Buxtadan təzə yedinizdə smırsi. Təzə yedinizdə smırsi buxtadan. Ola bilir belki de bizim uşaqların meyitleri yaparırlar arası tullamağa. Batırın onu, batırın. Vurun, batırın. Vurun, таранить, таранить! Kavalacağız şimdi bak yanımda bir tane gemi.
The attempts of military ships to head into open waters failed. Civilian ships from the Caspian Sea oil fleet rammed into the military ships, forcing them to return to the base. The ramming civilian ship was struck by nearly 1,000 bullets. Some crimes are called accidents. But what about the causes that create those accidents? That day, I was born, and on that same day, I lost both of my parents. The funeral ceremony for the martyrs of January 20th. This wasn't just a retreat of Soviet control. It was the collapse of an empire. Those who decided to drown a nation in blood realized during those days that fighting against a free-spirited people would require far more strength than they had anticipated.
لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد Allah rəhmət eləsin, ruhu şad, məkanı cənnət, qəbirlər nurla dolsun. Amin ya Rabbil Alemin. Oxunan Qur'anın edilən duaların ilahi dərgahda dərəcəyə qəbula yetməsinə xatir mərhumların ruhlarının şad olması üçün Peyğəmbər, Ali Peyğəmbərə salavat. Allahümmə salli ala Muhammed və Ali Muhammed. Allah rəhmət eləsin, Allah əcr versin.
Allah ölümümüzə rəhmət eləsin. Being born on January 20th, I learned every detail of what happened on that historic night. The determination shown by the captains in Baku Bay became a symbol of hope for the people. Thanks to the SOS distress signal, the events were known to all.
Я узнал об этом вчера утром. И, естественно, оставаться равнодушным этому событию не смог. Пришел сюда прежде всего для того, чтобы здесь, в постпредстве, который является небольшим куском азербайджанской земли в Москве, выразить свое соболезнование всему азербайджанскому народу в связи со случившейся трагедией, большими жертвами.
On the night of January 22nd, during an extraordinary session of the Republic's Supreme Soviet with an incomplete quorum, the USSR leadership and military command were accused of the massacre committed in Baku. The cessation of punitive operations and the immediate withdrawal of troops were demanded. Seeing the situation, Soviet Defense Minister Yazov was forced to personally meet with the captains. Captain Muzaffar Aliyev and academician Tofik Ismailov attended the meeting with Yazov. So, Captain, you're striking, are you? No. We are protesting. You all face execution. Do you understand that? Yes. Then why aren't you leaving the bay? We will continue our protest until our demands are met. Listen here, Captain. Starting from midnight, a state of emergency will be declared in the bay. If your ships don't vacate the bay by then, we will sink all of you. After intense and heavy discussions, it was decided to address all the ship captains. In this address, the captains explained the outcome of the meeting with Yazov and warned of the impending danger. From that moment,
belə bir vəziyyətdə hər bir kapitanın qərar verməsi onun özünə bağlıdır.
Each captain had to make their own decision regarding their ship and crew. That day, warnings were issued to 120 ships, but not a single ship moved. The sailors stood by their word. However, the Soviet forces didn't wait for the declared time. Two hours before the declared time, tanks and artillery attacked the civilian ships from the shore, while military ships and boats launched an assault from the sea. Airborne assault units, firing as they went, first seized the terminal building, then the Sabit Arujov ship. More than 40 sailors from the Caspian Sea oil fleet were arrested and sent to prisons in various cities of the empire. After enduring 30 days filled with torture, the sailors were finally released. On October 18th, 1991, Azerbaijan restored its state independence. Baku shed light on the hollow nature of the Soviet Union, erasing the fear of the empire from minds and hearts. Just 2 months after Azerbaijan raised its flag of independence, the empire called the USSR disappeared entirely from history. On March 29, 1994, at the initiative of the national leader, Heydar Aliyev, the January 20 tragedy received its first legal and political assessment at the level of the highest legislative body, the National Assembly of Azerbaijan. But the struggle did not end. The fragmented empire dragged Azerbaijan, which was confidently advancing on its path to independence, into the War over Karabakh. Thousands of heroes joined the fight. Among the martyrs of the First Karabakh War were 34 sailors, the majority of whom had participated in the events of January 20th. No crime goes unpunished. Those driven by arrogance pay a heavy price for their deeds.
Azərbaycan xalqı bir yumruq kimi birləşərək tarixi missiyasını yerinə yetirdi. Bizi qələbəyə aparan güclü iradə idi, vətən sevgisi idi, hərbçilərimizin peşəkarlığı idi. Qəhrəman övladlarımız uzun məsafə qət edərək qanlı döyüşlərdə düşməni məğlub edib, üç rəngli bayrağımızı Şuşada qaldırır. Biz təkcə ərazi bütövlüyümüzü yox, biz milli qürurumuzu bərpa etdik. Mən də Ali Baş Komandanı kimi sizinlə fəxr edirəm. Yaşasın Qarabağ, yaşasın Azərbaycan!
The historical path that led Azerbaijan to its great victory began on January 20th. On those days, the Soviet Empire, which devised the harshest punishment for Baku, received its most devastating blow from the city itself. The Azerbaijani captains, who informed the world of the bloody night in Azerbaijan and held the enemy at bay for 4 days during those difficult times, authored one of the most honorable chapters of the independence movement. those born on January 20th usually do not celebrate their birthdays. But this year, for the first time, I congratulated myself. Because I work in the 167-year-old Caspian Sea Shipping Company. I was raised by captains. They nurtured me with their personal examples. Fearless, determined, resilient, and unwavering sailors in extraordinary circumstances. They delivered an essential message from the past to the future. Loyalty and love for the homeland are the backbone of society. Our generation drew strength from their courage. We did our best to contribute to the realization of great projects. We believed in the life-giving power of love. We endured wars, suffered martyrs, and achieved victory. Every ship flying the Azerbaijani flag is a piece of our homeland. In this glorious history, many sailors have their names and rights inscribed on the path they marked for us. The captains who displayed great heroism on January 20th were the first heralds of the newly rising sun of independence on the horizon.